funny.
So funny.
I know. So, what's new with you?
Oh, nothing much. Same old, you know.
Yeah, I know.
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing ever happens with you. You're so boring.
No, I'm not.
Anyways, my family and I are going to Pioneer Village this weekend. Wanna come?
What?
My family and I, we're going to Pioneer Village this weekend. Do you wanna come? You know, that place where you go and celebrate the pioneers of Canada.
The pioneers of Canada?
Hey, relax. Why are you screaming?
What you actually mean to say are the colonizers of Canada. And why would you ask me of all people to go with you? Is this some kind of test?
I'm only going because my family's going. You know, my friend, she plays the flute. She's really good.
I really can't believe you're still trying to push this. I really can't believe it. I do not think you of all people would partake in something like this. Go and celebrate colonization. Leave me out of it.
You suck the life out of everything. Why does it all have to be about race, colonialism, and politics with you? Why can't we just love each other and get along? You know, the pioneers, they worked really hard too.
The pioneers worked hard? The pioneers worked hard? Let me tell you who worked hard. The indentured workers who were recruited to build everything you see worked hard. The people who were pushed off their lands, those people had to work hard to go looking for food and water because the colonizers had taken over to set up their nice little homes. Those people worked hard.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't even feel so strongly about this.
Do you even know about the indigenous people who were forced into residential schools? The girls who were raped every single night by their white teachers? Do you know that indigenous people are still being colonized today? Do you have any idea? And now you want me to be a part of your stupid farce.
I'm sorry, but we all have our own problems, you know? Like, we all have our own struggles, and...
Listen to me. I will not be a part of something that actively celebrates colonialism and blatantly erases indigenous people's histories. So if you really want a friend to go with somebody who thinks genocide of indigenous people is fun and something that needs to be reenacted over and over again. I'm so done with you. Hi, it's us again. We're going to talk about the second video, Pioneer Village, celebrating colonization. And I just want to talk about the title of that video and why we decided to give it that name. First of all, we were questioning the word itself, pioneer. But when I first started learning about it, my understanding of pioneer was, you know, the first person or the first people. But in actual fact, indigenous people were the first people here. So that in itself is very, very colonial. And that is why we feel that it's a very colonial term. Celebrating pioneers is actually celebrating the colonizers who came and imposed themselves on indigenous people.
We also feel that the Aboriginals, their existence and their culture and their language and their whole tradition has been in many ways erased from the whole Canadian heritage, Canadian identity. There's, as mentioned, there's no mention of them at all in these places. There's no mention of even violence taking place throughout Canada, and even them being suppressed, their culture being suppressed. There's no mention of any of these things at all in history or in any way. So we felt that this was, this existence of this place is indeed a celebration of colonization.
And the last thing that we wanted to talk about was in regards to the apology made by Stephen Harper on behalf of the Canadian government in regards to what happened with the Aboriginals. Firstly, it was a very late apology considering how long Canadian history has happened and how long ago the Aboriginals were colonized. And places like Pioneer Village are a contradiction to this apology because it doesn't make sense to apologize for what had happened and still have places like this exist where they do not exist and their presence is not felt. So we felt that the apology was not enough, and it doesn't make up or compensate for the situation of Aboriginals now in Canada, in which they are still essentially not a part of Canada as a nation.
Yeah.